Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be working on the STI and we're going to be taking out the intake silencer. It's a pretty easy mod that a lot of people seem to do. And I want to get a bit more noise out of the car without having to retune it with an aftermarket intake. So let's give it a go and see if it makes any difference at all. Let's open up your bonnet so we can get started. So we're just taking off this intake part here. You're just going to use a flathead screwdriver. Just spin the clip and it'll pop out. From there you'll be able to easily take off this first part of the intake. Okay, so the first bolt is just on the bottom down here. You can see it just there in the center. So you just need an extended socket to get that one out. And then the next one is just under here. You can see the bracket there. So those two, and then that'll loosen up this airbox. So you're going to need a 10mm to get this off. It's a bit of a struggle to get in there, it's quite tight, but I found it's easier just to loosen it and then use your hands to get it off the rest of the way. Alright, so for the second bolt up the top we're going to use a spanner. It's a bit easier than getting in there with the socket. Just loosen that one up and then it'll come off just using your fingers. It's not very tight. Now we just got to disconnect the main airbox. Just undo the clip at the top with your fingers. And then we're going to be using our flathead screwdriver to take off the clamp for the intake hose, intake pipe I should say. And that one you just loosen up, and then this is when the struggle will begin. So now you're just going to have to wiggle it around and try and get the intake out. It took me about a minute. I've sped it up here, but it can be a bit of a struggle to get it out there in the first place. And there you go, that's your intake silencer there. You just got to undo a screw here, just using a star Phillips head, and you just want to loosen that off and then that'll pop out. To take the silencer off the intake box, you just want to twist it. I found it was easier to hold it with my feet to get it off. Okay, so now we're going to get the intake box back in. We're just going to do the reverse of exactly how we took it out. So starting with the clamp and then the sensor on the top, then doing the bolts on the bottom and the side. What you also want to do is it's a good opportunity to clean all that desert red dust off your engine bay before putting back the last piece of the intake. And that just pops in opposite to how we took it out, and then the clips just stick them in. Alright, so now we're going to take it for a drive and see if it's made any difference at all. Just from the revs, I don't feel like it really made much of a difference at all. But we'll see if maybe there's a bit more of a spool or a blow-off sound. Alright guys, so just got back from the drive after doing the intake silencer delete. What I can say is it doesn't really make much for intake noise. Obviously I do have a turbo back exhaust, so maybe that's why I can't hear it. But what it does do is you get a lot more of the whooshing from the turbo and the blowback sort of blow off noise that you get with a good intake. So it's satisfied my needs that I don't really need to get an aftermarket intake just for sound anymore, because enough of that intake whooshy and blowback noise is there. So I'm happy with that. Obviously it was a bit hard to get any good footage for you guys because I didn't have my GoPro charged and I was sort of just winging it. Alright, let's try it with some boost. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and tune in next time, subscribe if you like, and thanks for watching. See you guys.